Well, welcome back to Chinneron. Today I picked myself up a little Shark vacuum cleaner, and I think this is going to be a good fix, and I'll tell you why. Because this looks like this was the main problem. This hose here was broken, and the hose that goes into the unit itself is broken as well. So probably that's all that's wrong with it. I've already plugged it in, and it does turn on. One thing I did not check was the beta bar on the bottom here. So let's go ahead and check that real quick. Go ahead and there's the button right there. So that's on. If I turn it on again, I have the beater. There we go, right there. So it's pretty dirty, as you can see. There's a lot of looks like carpet and stuff tangled in it. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that all off, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to replace this hose as well. And that there looks relatively simple. It looks like I'm going to have to take apart this handle and put a new hose in there. So I've got some hose that I picked up from other projects that I was working on, and left over from other projects that I've been working on. And I'm hoping I can just go ahead and replace this hose and replace the hose down on the bottom here. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get started. I guess the first thing I'm going to do is obviously unplug it. It looks like this is designed to come in a lot of different pieces, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of separate everything as much as possible. Might be easy to work on, so we can kind of work on this separately without having it all in our way. And it looks like this separates well. Make sure that's clean. And I might as well go ahead and take this unit off too. Go ahead and clean that all out. I'll take that over to my other shop, and I'll go ahead and take the air compressor and blow that all out of there. And then we have a filter here. I mean, that's pretty filthy. And then another one down here. So I'm going to take those over to the shop, just kind of take the air compressor to it. And then I end up with the unit itself here. Now this latch is broken, but that's not going to keep it from working. So this here, I don't believe I have to do anything with. Okay, this piece here is what went into here. So, and this is broken, so we're going to have to revisit this and glue this back in. So we'll come back to that. That's not the best of shape either. Alright, and so we'll get those out of the way. I'll go clean those out. And obviously we don't have to do anything with that. So I think the first thing we'll do is where this has been taped multiple times, and I can see where it comes all the way up inside here. I think what I'll do is take this handle apart and start replacing this hose. Let's start with our Craftsman Phillip. Let's go ahead and take this handle apart and see what we got. Now once you get the screws all out of it, what you need to do is you need to remove this whole piece here, and you have to remove this cone. Now it looks like someone has tried to get in here once before, and they had no success. Or maybe they did, I don't know, but they did some damage on the sides here, which is, it's not the end of the world. I'll clean that all up. But the way to get these off, and again, I've encountered these once before, there's a little clip that you would normally use to put the hose in and out. You actually got to remove the top cover. And hopefully I can do this without breaking it. It should kind of snap right out of there. There we go. Oh, spring flew out. Alright, so here's the cover. And there's a little spring right here. Don't lose that spring. You set those off to the side, and when you pull that out of there, that's doing more than just holding the extension. It's also holding this nose cone on as well. So you should be able to just kind of wiggle that a little bit, and it'll come right out of there, just like that. Set that off to the side, and then this piece here, just kind of wiggle that, and that should come out. Try to remember which way it went on. I'm going to try to clean that up where someone had tried to remove that once before. Now you can remove the rest of the handle. And let's see if I can get a screwdriver for that. Should just kind of unsnap there. Just like that. Now keep it in mind, last one I worked on, there was a ground wire. This is due for static and that type of thing. So you want to make sure that we resolder that connection back onto our new hose. Alright, so take your parts that you do not need and kind of set those off to the side. I really don't want to cut that if I don't have to, because I'm not sure if I've got enough there to work with, so I'm just going to desolder what's there. And I got a little gasket here, going to make sure that goes on the right way. Okay, it's pretty obvious because it sits on the sides, so let's kind of set that off to the side as well. Now on the hose, you've got this little angle here that you've got to pull out. And let's see, there's a piece in here we're going to need. Screw that out. Alright, an important piece. Alright, now let's get this out. Alright, remember, this goes in the handle itself. That out of the way. Okay, and here's our hose. So all we need to do is we just need to cut the new length. Okay, so let's go ahead and measure out our new piece. Again, this is just some scraps that I had lying around. And I can either pull that out of there or I can just cut it. I think I'm going to opt to just cut it out of there because it doesn't fit anything anyhow. So let's go ahead and get our new piece of hose, or used. And once you've cut that, then we can go ahead and cut the metal. Just cut that. Now we have to make a little bit of that metal exposed so we can solder onto it. So just kind of go back, strip that back just a little ways like that. Got a little carried away there. Pull back some of that metal. You could probably do this with a razor knife. I just happen to have my wire strippers here. So now I've exposed the wire that's inside this casing. And let's go ahead and get our measurement here. Okay, there's our old hose and our new one. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to reverse the order on how this all went back together. And I'll try to get as detailed as I can, because the last time I had done this, some of the comments were I didn't really show enough on it. So I'll do the best I can. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this on first. We could put it on the other end if we want to. We know we have to have that on. That's the first one. That's the bottom of the handle, so it swivels. Now we have to get this unit here on, and this can be a little difficult. In the past, I've been lucky enough to push that on hard enough, but I found that if I heat it up with a hairdryer, I can tend to get it on there a little easier. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And as I've said before, everything tends to be a little bit easier when you're not trying to film it. Oh, kind of cut myself a little bit there. Show must go on. Whoops, going the wrong way. Yeah, all right, we've got it on there. Okay, next we need to get a bandage. Luckily, I have a whole roll of bandages right here. There we go. There we go, back up and running. Now let's go back to the handle and let's go ahead and solder this piece in. I know I still have to have this gasket here, but I want to solder this on first. So we're going to just kind of slide it over our middle piece of the hose. Okay, see if I can get a close-up on this here. So there's the gasket that goes in between the hose and the outer part here. And if you look, you see it has a little rim on it. That has to actually go inside. So you just kind of have to work it in there. Okay, so I got everything back in there. I got my ground all soldered back on. This here just kind of clips back on like that. And you got your grounding static strip that comes out at the end. That's all back in. Got the gasket. So we should be all set to go ahead and put the cover back on. So you take the little clip that you took out before and you just lie that in there, just like that. Then you take the little spring that I have already lost, and I must have blew it off the table when I had the, nope, there it is. Then you take the little spring and you set it in there like that. And that clip that I was telling you very carefully at the beginning to snap it off, you just kind of push that back on there. And there you go. And again, that's what holds it on inside here, so it won't come back off. And the people before, whoever tried this, they were using a screwdriver to try to pop that off. And it's all about this little clip right here. Alright, so let's go back on the other side. And now what we need to do is we need to get this elbow in there. So the reason why I didn't want you to put the screws in here is because we had to kind of pull this apart ever so slightly to get that back in, without pinching your fingers. There we go. There it is, just like that. Alright, now let's not forget the little handle here. There we go, handle is all done. Now let's go ahead and work on the other side. Okay, and now on the other side, all you need to do is just kind of clean it out a little bit. If there's any leftover hose from before, just kind of clean that up a little bit. And then all you need to do here is, again, I like to heat it up ever so slightly. There we go. That side's done. So this end of the vacuum cleaner is complete. So now what we'll do is we'll move on to the lower end. Okay, now on the lower end, all we need to do is remove the hose. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Another reason why it wasn't working. Look at the stuff that's full. So, you know, they probably just got frustrated. I mean, the whole thing is clogged right up. So there was a problem right from the get-go. It's going to be a great little vacuum once I get it done. Alright, go ahead and slide that out of there. Oh yeah. Here we go. Yep. Think that's got something to do with why it wasn't even working. Look at that. Okay. So, before I go any further, let's get out the old shop vac that I repaired last video. See if I can clean this mess up. I love projects like this because I mean, that's obviously why it wasn't even working to begin with. I mean, even if they had taped this up, it's still going to work, but when it stopped working, they just probably gave up on it. So this is going to be a great little vacuum once I get it all cleaned up. Now, let's go on the hose. I'll revisit this here a little bit later. I'll talk about that. Now on this hose, let's see what we got to work with. Now on this one, we're going to just need a short piece of hose. But it has to be flexible enough and long enough so when the vacuum cleaner is down in its downward mode that it's not going to stretch and come out. So the piece that they had in there, I'll kind of use that as a guideline a little bit, but I might add just a little bit to it. That's going to kind of go in like that. So I think I might go ahead and put this back in. I know that clip is broken, but I'll just have to deal with that when I take it back out. So I'm going to clip that back in. Take your knife carefully. Alright, so there's our new piece right there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get this bottom half right out of the way so I can work. Again, that clip is broken. But this one here, I had to use a screwdriver to kind of pull it out. I'm sure I can order these parts offline if I need to. Okay, it doesn't matter which one you do first, they're both going to be done. So let's go back to this unit, and what I want to do is, you see all the string and all the carpet and hair and everything like that. We want to go ahead and take care of that, and that's pretty easy to do. Just take your utility knife and just kind of cut it out of there. There it is. It's going to make a big difference right there. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this back together. Alright, let's go ahead and turn her on. Probably should sound a lot different. Oh, a lot different. Sounds a whole lot different than it did before. Let's go ahead and remove this one right here. Oh yeah, working like a champ. Just like it's supposed to. Alright, now for the real test. See if the beater bar is going to work. I think that's what they call it. Oh, that's right too. It has to be engaged, so see if I can do this without getting hurt. Oh yeah. Awesome. Alright. Let's try her out. Okay, now for the big test. Awesome. Works like brand new. And the reason why it wasn't working to begin with was because it was all clogged right up. And it added to the fact that the hose was all cracked and the air was being sucked in from different areas. So there it is, pretty much all set on the old Shark, and it actually has a name. It's the Navigator, the Shark Navigator. So a quick little fix, another one that we've done. And you can do one or two things with this. You can keep it, put it in your shop, or you can put it in a yard sale, make 20 bucks off of it. Thanks an awful lot for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.